Good day, guys and gals. So I've been at this DHEX8 for a little while now. I've sort of found a way to get it done reliably, but I had to bring 2 6 stars. So I'll start with the stickers. We have the Desolis Tourist Badge, pretty much because there's not much else that we can do. Because there's not a lot of, well, there is no erosion damage basically, because this map doesn't flood. So that aside, we're gonna go all Defender Guard and Vanguard Specialists have 200 plus defense. The two 50 corrosion recovery point stickers and snipers have extra attack, or snipers and casters. So Desolis Tourist Badge, Tio Marco Cactus Cake, Dogrus Fluid Sealant, Sole Verde Bandidos, and Box Ink Resistant Paint Pro. Okay, so we have Texas with skill 2, Myrtle with skill 1, Perfumer with skill 1, Lopsis with skill 2, Gummy with skill 1, Cora with skill 2. Now, this May is not essential. A sniper is essential, but not May specifically. Basically, you want somebody that's over this 1400 health area. So the higher the health, the better. I don't even know if Exusia... Yeah, Exusia is fine if you want to bring Exusia and you've got her. So basically, yeah, we're looking at over 1400 health. And that's sort of a safety net health area. Irene with skill 2. Indigo, skill 2. If you have her sister is even better. Mine isn't leveled up, so... her sister, for those of you who don't know, is... Where's she hiding? Yeah, Iris. So, if you've got Iris, use Iris. Blue Poison with skill 2. Mudrock, skill 2. And Yafyala with skill 3. So if this helps you out, guys, this is going to be messy, but if it does help you out or just gives you thoughts, concepts, anything, leave a sub because that helps me out. So we really need to get deployment points sorted nice and early, so we're going to get our 2 Vanguards in nice and early if I don't bugger up the deploys. And then we need to sort of deploy in a decent sort of order. So we want to get Blue Poison in nice and early, so we minimize how much she gets shot at. Philopsis over here in next. Then we're going to get Cora in. And that deploy order's pretty important. We're going to put a floaty here, and we're going to put another floaty over here next to Texas. So another one over here. And we're going to hit this skill. And we're going to pop a rain in here. Pop in May over here. Cycle skills. Perfumer facing off to the right. Then we're going to use Cora's skill. And that is intentional. Very, very, very intentional. Iris here, or Indigo, sorry. And this is for the sole purpose of getting deployment points. Another floaty here. And Mudrock in down here, and that is because we want Mudrock's shield. This whole thing is to basically get Mudrock's shield at 3 stacks. Keep using Texas for deployment points. So we'll fast forward this. I just want one more of these to die, and then I'm going to swap in Gummy. Plop. And we're keeping this as a spare, just in case something goes horribly, horribly wrong. So we'll fast forward this. Mudrock's happily on 3 stacks here. So here comes the boss. Keep cycling Texas's skill. Indigo's skill, and there'll be another little thing behind it. Now it's basically if this explosive boat detonates next to your sniper here. So that's why we've got that set up the way we have. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. RNG has not been good for me. This map is so much RNG, especially because just the regular trash units have a dodge chance, which can sometimes stitch you up. So we don't want to get too involved in this explosive boat either, because we don't want it to blow up next to Mudrock. That said, we do want to use the skill now because we want to make sure that this enemy gets as hammered as we can. So we basically want to minimize how much damage use Arene's skill because it extends your attack range. We want to minimize how much damage this particular enemy puts on Mudrock. Now that enemy is going to hit Mudrock. There's nothing we can do about it. We just got to deal with it. The bottom line is that preferably it's in the water here getting killed. That's the preference. So Mudrock's happy and healthy here, or as healthy as we can expect it to be, which is good. Texas's skill. So once again, we have another explosive boat. Is what is. If that blows up near Gummy, again, as I said, it is what it is. Use that skill just to make sure that Gummy and Blue stay alive. So we're going to take Texas out about now. So about 24. And that's because we want her to cycle through. We're going to need her again. So here comes our next enemy. Again, same deal. We want to get this as dead as we can. So Arene's skill nice and early before it moves into area. Hit this skill for Indigo. Hit this skill here. So we want to slow this enemy down as much as humanly possible. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Fingers crossed. So we haven't had a great lot of luck there, so we're going to put in Cora. Indigo is done. Swap for Yafyala. And Yafyala, because you've just deployed her, she'll be good to go nice and early. So we're going to use her skill. And that is pretty much where we're at. Use this skill again just to slow this enemy down, give us some recycle time. There goes Mudrock. That's not a huge issue. So we're going to wait now basically until this enemy goes past, and we're going to plop Texas in. So you may have to use Cora's skill. It's probably pretty safe to use Cora's skill here. And then we're going to plop in Texas behind this enemy. And at this point, we're pretty much sorted. So at this point in time, we're 31 to 34. Boss is 1. This enemy, I think, counts as 2 because he's in a motorboat, and I think this one's in a motorboat too. So once that enemy comes through, we're just watching. What we're going to do is wait until he stuns Korra, because he will eventually stun Korra. Irene is done, so we don't need to worry about Irene. I'm pretty sure Blue is done at this point in time, so we're basically going to throw Indigo back in facing down so she can help out here. Stun this enemy with Texas's skill. Slow the boss down. So Texas will probably go down there, but we're sorted there. That's not an issue. The boss is done. We're done with May. Take May out. So now we're going to plop in Mudrock. Now, Mudrock, either face or left or down. It doesn't really matter. But we want to get her shields up. So we're just going to use this skill. At this point in time, we want to use Yapyala's skill to get the boss down. Because the boss is going to come over here, but he'll be invulnerable for a period of time. So what we want to do is we want to sort of burn that vulnerability period. Because that invulnerability period is going to really hurt. So use Perfumer's skill because you're gonna need it. Because no matter what, the boss is going to be doing not pretty things to you. So I'm just going to pop Irene down here. So who was that? So that was Perfumer that just went there. That's not a huge issue. I want to get rid of that drone. That doesn't really matter. I think I'll have to do that in normal mode, so we won't worry about that too much. So once again, this is one of these things. We just want to pop Texas in here. Now Texas will get hit. That's just how it is. So we're going to pop Myrtle in over here. So we have some passive healing on Texas. Myrtle is completely redundant in this, so don't panic too much. Use this skill. So that was Mudrock that just went down. Again, we're not too fussed. It is what it is. The boss is kind of having a moment here. So we're going to pop Irene in. Just going to use Telopsis' skill. We don't need our Indigo in. So then we'll just use Yapyala's skill. Because the boss just kind of sits there and is not particularly friendly, and that's where the big issue is. It's not so much the boss's AoE that's an issue. The boss's AoE will do a lot of damage, but the problem is that the boss tends to just sit in one spot and doesn't move. So until he actually moves up into that top row, there's not a lot you can do. You kind of just got to sit there and hold him. Now you can use Korra's skill, that's completely fine. But I prefer to sit there and try and hope that Korra lives until he comes up and then use his skill. I mean, it's up to you guys where exactly you want to use it, but that is where I would tend to use it. But I don't know, use your own discretion. Because until the boss actually does move up into Yapyala's attack range, you're kind of just stuck. And there's not a lot you can do, because the boss will just be annoying. So yeah, I hope that helps out, guys. I know that's not really super clean, but as I said, this has a lot of RNG with a lot of the enemies that have high dodge. Using Indigo has a massive amount of RNG attributed to it. Yeah, that's all I've got. Sometimes Mudrock will go down early. That's why we have Indigo where I had her the whole time. So bear that in mind, because if Mudrock goes down early and the boss does actually make it all the way around in his motorboat, he will keep, while he's in the motorboat, he will continue to spawn suicide boats, and that's why Indigo's there, because she pretty much just one-shots the suicide boats and gets rid of them, so that she's sort of defending that lane from the suicide boats getting all the way up. It's one of those things where no matter how many times I've done this, RNG has always played a particular part, and unfortunately there was nothing I could really do about it to make it work consistently, and I've been at this map for quite a while now trying to get it consistent, and it just won't work for me. So that's the best I have for you guys, and I'm sorry it's not easier. I hope it helps nonetheless, and yeah, I hope to see you guys for the next one.